Hi, welcome to SBRforum videos. I'm your host, Natalie Rydstrom. Wimbledon 2013 has been a wild one so far, as nothing has gone according to plan, including the weather, which is actually not a surprise. With the semi-finals just a day away, Serena Williams, Maria Sharapova and Victoria Azarenka are each out of contention. Here with us now to discuss the remaining betting value is SBRforum sportswriter and contributor Nila Amerova. Nila, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Natalie. Thanks for having me.
Here we are now with 3 matches left, and none of the remaining players have even won a Grand Slam. The closest to raising the Venus Rosewater dish has been Agi Radwanska, who made the Wimbledon final last year, and Marion Bartoli, who made the final in 2007. Now, what do you make of what we've seen so far?
Natalie, it's been crazy. The craziest Wimbledon that I can ever remember. Nobody could have predicted what happened and how it happened to the letter. When draws come out, we punters love to speculate about dark horses and dangerous floaters, referring to them with this kind of unmitigated hope that one or more might rise to the occasion. I mean, who doesn't love a good underdog story, right? Mm-hmm. But while we speculate about them, we know how low the probability is of an upset. Upsets happen from time to time, of course, and they're usually contained. Few upsets happen in a tournament here and there, especially one of this magnitude. But a complete redressing of the draw, and in turn a redressing of the market, such as we have here, is rare. And I mean, this I think really is a special Wimbledon, and I don't think we may see one like it for some time. So I'm really enjoying it.
Natalie, you're certainly right there, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the tennis so far. Moving on to the semi-finals, William Hill has Serena Williams slayer Sabine Lisicki at -175 against Agi Radwanska. Is this price an overreaction to Lisicki's performance against Williams, do you think?
I think so. I mean, it doesn't mean she doesn't deserve to be the favorite or is worthy of that status, more like, by any means. But to be so at the expense of Radwanska, who was last year's finalist and the world #4 player, I might add, I'm not sure what to make of that market. It seems to me, and this is just my observation, that in matchups where power takes finesse, odds makers persist with the power player. Traditionally, grass courts played fastest, favoring big servers who moved well and kept points short, be it through volleys or just a finishing blow from the baseline. But the slowing down of Wimbledon a few years back, which was much publicized, has served, I think, to level the field. Well, it certainly has leveled the field so much. So we see more baseline rallies than ever before. We also see more counterpunchers that go deep in the tournament or that can even win it. I mean, players like Hewitt, Nadal, and Djokovic to a certain point, although they can play at the net, but they're traditionally more predominantly baseline players. And so now Radwanska, she's a special player in my opinion. She's a complete package. She can do it all. I mean, her game has so much variety. She's one of the smartest players on the tour. She's a throwback to that traditional serve and volley game. And to watch her, it's like watching a chess game unfold on a grass court. I mean, it's a refreshing departure, in my opinion, from today's power players that just subscribe to the see-ball, hit-ball approach. Even Andy Murray recently singled her out as his favorite player to watch in the women's game, and that is high praise, I think. So I wouldn't count her out if the odds makers seem to do so, even if the odds makers seem to do so rather disingenuously, I think. And in fact, I would go so far as to say I like her in this match, and I like her to win it.
Okay, so you're going for a Radwanska win here. That's interesting. I was talking with David Bond, headlines manager at Bet Online, and he's actually going for a Lisicki win here. What are your thoughts on that?
A lot of people are going for, I think, a Lisicki win. Her game is definitely built for a grass court surface. She plays really well, and she has played very well at Wimbledon in previous years as well. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't be offended if someone disagreed with me. But I like Radwanska because I think of her experience, and I really was impressed with her in the last year's final. And I think now with Serena out of the way, this is her second shot, and I mean, what a chance she has. So if she rises to the occasion and sees the opportunity, then I think she's a great play.
Mm-hmm. The other semi-final has Marion Bartoli taking on Kirsten Flipkens. The heavy-hitting Bartoli is -163 to advance. What's the play here?
This is a tough one, Natalie. Again, I think we have a market that favors the blatant power player over the finesse attacking-minded player. But while in the first match I went with the finesse player in Radwanska, here I think I'm going to go with the power player. Talk about being contrary, but I'm going to stick with my guns here and go with Bartoli. And the reason why I'm going with Bartoli is because I think she has a slight edge with experience. She's been to a Grand final before when she reached the 2007 Wimbledon final. And just watching her play through this Wimbledon, she's been in a zone, is the best way that I can describe it. She's gone through the tournament without dropping a set. And I think there's just this air about her that really makes me believe in her ability to go one further. And the other thing is that Flipkins, of course, I mean, she could theoretically win, but she's never done anything like this before. She's out of nowhere, and I think the occasion might just be too big for her.
Okay, so in the finals, you're seeing Radwanska versus Bartoli. Who do you see lifting the trophy at the end?
Well, I'm going to go with sort of my dark horse favorite here, one of the dark horse favorites that we talked about earlier since we began previewing Wimbledon. I'm going to go with Radwanska. On the final floor, I think she's the one with the coolest head on her shoulders. She rarely shows any emotion at all. She never gets down on herself in the tournament. I think it's all about the mental game. She's mentally tough, and I think that will serve her well. And I think because also she came close last year to doing it, she really has the best chance ever of winning a Grand Slam final with no Serena and no Sharapova and no Azarenka in her way.
Yeah, I certainly think Radwanska, she has her eyes set on that trophy. She did miss out last year, and I can imagine she'll be really playing for it this year for a win here.
Yes, Natalie, I agree.
Okay, Nila, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Natalie.